During emergency disasters, politics should not play a part in it.
I thought this decision was petty, that it was partisan, and that there was no basis for it.
The greatest concern right now is winter is approaching, and these homes are going to be without heat.
We have absolutely shocking reporting from CNN as the Trump administration has now denied victims in another blue state FEMA relief aid after devastating flooding, because that's what MAGA is, that's what MAGA wants, and that's what Trump represents. And a mayor directly affected by this is on a CNN panel discussing all of it. So leave us a like if you can. It helps us out. It gives us a boost in the algorithm. It's free and it lets us know you enjoy the content. And let's get right to the discussion.
This morning, Maryland Governor Wes Moore is slamming the Trump administration's decision to deny FEMA funding to his state. So this is in response to devastating flooding back in May. The governor had asked the federal government for millions of dollars to rebuild severely impacted roads, bridges, and also buildings in 2 counties.
I told the Trump administration directly that I thought this decision was petty, that it was partisan, and that there was no basis for it. It is unprecedented for a governor of Maryland to be able to put in for emergency disaster federal relief, especially when we not just hit the criteria, we exceed the criteria.
And to put in perspective the partisan nature of this, Trump without hesitation went to Texas. He said he'd send them aid immediately. Mike Johnson said, oh, we approved everything, no hesitation. Of course, the incompetency of the Trump administration ended up delaying a lot of the help, like the search and rescue anyway, but it was all hands on deck for a red state. But then he drug his feet in California, politicized it, and ultimately denied them what they needed. And here he is doing the same to another blue state. I wonder if it's just a coincidence, guys. Remember, Michael Colangelo, not a coincidence, but everything Trump does, coincidence. The division Trump creates in this country for partisan gain might be unrepairable. These people are literally trying to fragment the unity that is the backbone of this country. It genuinely is scary that he would leave victims out to dry. Like, there's always been a line, like, we can disagree on tax policy, but victims aren't going to be out left to dry. Cities aren't going to be left ravaged, all because the state didn't vote your way. It's disgusting, and it's horrendous that MAGA supports this all in the name of rich guy tax cuts. And for reference, the flood did over 15 million in damage. Over 200 homes were destroyed. Some businesses were destroyed as well. That's families' livelihoods there. And now all of these people are completely on their own because Trump wants to give handouts to the rich.
During emergency disasters, politics should not play a part in it, regardless of what party you are associated with. We're very confused as to why it was not approved. We were hopeful, but that unfortunately we are going to fight and do the appeal process.
We mentioned, some of the things that the governor had put in terms of that request. I mean, this is directly what you saw in Westernport. We're talking about roads that are damaged, that were taken out. I know that a number of residents had severe damage. They are trying to get hot water heaters replaced. They're trying to get the damage in their homes and businesses fixed. Where does all of that stand, given that these FEMA funds are not going to be coming through, at least as of now?
We have one road that is currently closed down without those FEMA funds. We're looking at a long period of time before it can be repaired.
And if you don't think this is directly related to Trump destroying FEMA, just cutting and slashing their budget for more rich guy handouts that will actually raise the average American's taxes and take healthcare for millions, then think again. It directly has to do with that. FEMA has less money to go around now. They have to start picking winners and losers from these natural disasters rather than helping everyone, which is a disgusting, horrible thing that our emergency relief program should never be set up to operate like. And also, it should not and cannot be overstated that this is only even as big of an issue or a problem because Republicans denied climate change for so long and still deny humans' effect on it. It's because they're anti-science. This is all on Republicans. All of our infrastructure is outdated for the severity of these natural disasters. It's literally not only entirely on Trump and MAGA's hands for being a conspiracy theorist dumbasses, essentially, but it's only going to get worse going forward as more cuts and more layoffs go into effect and more cities and more states are left out to dry.
Most of these residents lost their furnaces. We've been working with Department of Social Service, County United Way, and several agencies that have made wonderful donations to supply appliances and hot water tanks. But the greatest concern right now is winter is approaching and these homes are going to be without heat.
Yeah, absolutely. There's also a certain level of PTSD, frankly, that comes after people have survived an event like this every time it rains. And I imagine that is really weighing on the community.
And it's funny because when I do debates for my second channel and I talk about how migrants are having their rights violated, I often get the response of, they're not Americans. We don't have to worry because Americans aren't having their rights violated. Well, here is directly in front of our eyes how Trump is subjecting Americans to cruel and inhumane treatment as winter is incoming, mind you. Furnaces are destroyed. Houses are decimated. Families are struggling to recover. The businesses in which they fund their livelihood off of are destroyed. Trump is saying, you didn't vote for me, so we're not gonna give you FEMA relief. We're gonna give it to the rich anyway. Like, it's just horrendously immoral and dumb, and it should show every American how this party views them. Imagine how many kids in this poor town will go to sleep this winter cold. All because Donald Trump and MAGA didn't think they were worth it, that money is better left with the billionaires, which defies all economic principles. It cannot be understated again how this is only being done to blue states. It's direct fascism, and it's installing cruel and inhumane punishment on those you view as political enemies.